morning.
Greetings from the
Peace.
land of the living.
Shalom, shalom. It is morning time. Usually we be on here at night. It is what, 7 in the morning. Seven
Yep,
o'clock in the morning. So it's
yep,
pretty early for us.
yeah,
Just waking up everybody. Well you got up first.
yeah,
And that's surprising.
yeah.
Um
I'm excited.
a couple hours ago.
I'm
And I was usually our children wake up or wake me up. I just hear footsteps. And I'm like, so I pick my head up and I see her up. I'm like, well, okay, cool. I'm going back to sleep.
ready to go.
So, yeah, hallelujah. All
hmm
praises to the Most High for another day.
Yep.
He is great. He is awesome. And yeah, but with this title, that's something that is not going to be good for you in the
Mm.
next couple months,
The
in the
struggle.
next year coming.
The struggle.
Because, like, it's to me, take charge of your life today,
Mm.
you know, because that's very needed. Because you can't allow the Trump to rule your life and like, hey, follow me, because he digging a ditch right now. He
He
digging
digging a
a
ditch.
big ditch. So if you're gonna follow him,
Ooh.
you're probably gonna be in a ditch, and it's just gonna be harder to climb out of that ditch. Because it's like, man, it's a lot going on. It's pretty much like, okay. He said he's gonna what is it, tariff bricks, right? And China responded and said, well, we're gonna stop the imports or our exports coming to the states or coming to America. And it's like, oh snap! It's like the bully at school that always bullied this kid, and then the kid finally steps up and punch him in the nose. And then the bully's like all shocked, like, whoa, like what just happened? Like it's really going down, and you got to be prepared. You really got to be prepared the next couple months, because if trade stops from China,
Mm. And it goes, it takes a punch right in the American pride. Like, if you could imagine America is this prideful man, he just took a punch to the gut. Okay. But I have questions. I'm like, and we're going to break it down in this video. We've been doing some research and gathering some facts from the Harvard Gazette. But it's like, I'm like, is Trump who he says he is? Because logically, if you're pro America, he's either that deathly prideful that he would do something this foolish, or he's not really for America, because
mm,
this don't make sense what this is going to do to the economy. Now, the average person that does not understand geopolitics and how the economy works, look, shout out to economics class. I had straight A's in economics class. Economics has always been interesting to me. But for the average person that doesn't understand this, it's like, oh, yes, it's going to make the economy stronger. No, Trump just lynched the American economy. And so I'm just like, who does that in their right mind? It's weird. But anyway, we're going to get into this. We
yeah,
got a lot to go because we're looking at the Harvard Gazette, news.harvard.edu. How China tariffs could backfire on the US. This is by Christina Pazanzi. Pazanis. I'm sorry, Christina. Pazanis. Pazanis. So let's look. Let's read it. Let's dive in. You might want to get your, well, y'all not gonna drink the coffee. Y'all might want to get your water. You might want to get your milk, because this is wild. This is good for BRICS. He says it's not, but this is good for BRICS. This is bad for America. President-elect Donald Trump's long-standing plans to hit China with stiff tariffs would likely deal a blow to China's already faltering economy, but it could also trigger some unintended negative consequences for the US economy and foreign relations, economists say. Trump warned last week that on his first day back in office, he will impose 25% tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada. That's not wise, but okay. and an additional levy of 10% on Chinese imports. He said during the campaign he would hit China with tariffs of 60% or more. He said the nation's largest trading partners need to take swifter, harsher action to halt the flow of illegal migrants and drugs to the U.S. Well, first of all, the U.S. has always inflowed illegal migrants and drugs, so I don't know why all of a sudden they're like, no, that's not. You've been doing illegal migrants since the inception of America because you had all these illegal Europeans killing Native Americans. But okay. A revived trade war would further destabilize China's economy, but economists and tax experts caution it would harm the U.S. economy by increasing prices for American consumers and could lead to supply chain disruptions, labor shortages. Newsflash, there's already labor shortages, okay? There's already an issue in the economy with people finding jobs, retaining jobs. There's an issue in the economy with small businesses closing down. And then he put something like this and a currency war with China. In addition, it could provide China with new opportunities to get closer to traditional US allies in Europe, the UK, Australia, and Japan.
Yeah, it's a whole like flip going on right now where it's like the US way over there, put it like that. And then most of the world is nothing like the US. Even with the job system. I know we was watching a video about how was it Europe or something or was it Russia?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I think it was Europe or Russia. How like they got to keep the same job for a long time
Europe,
because
yeah.
if they do not, or if they quit a job, it's hard to find another job. So most people be in a job for 15, 20, 30 years because if they stop working, it's hard to find another job. But in
Yep.
America, there's you can hop jobs. Okay, man, I'm tired of this job. I don't like it. You probably can go get another warehouse job or something. Oh man, I don't like this job. A year or two later, man, I'm gonna try to go to another job. It's not like that in other countries. It's really not like that. So it's the job system already in America is struggling. Man, this is really gonna cause a lot of. It's like a ripple effect. And shout out to Ripple.
Yeah, I mean, in 2023, China fell behind Mexico as the top supplier of U.S. imports. The value of China's share of U.S. imports in semiconductors, smartphones, and laptops was 35% lower than when Trump was first imposed the tariffs in 2017. How damaging could a U.S. tariff of 60% or more be to the Chinese economy? And could China make up for that elsewhere? Well, of course they can. I think that's like a rhetorical question. Could China, one of the most ancient civilizations on the face of the earth, make up for the changes with their relationship with the US? I think that's a very rhetorical question. When you have the new world America that just became a superpower after World War II, you ask if an ancient economy with ancient ties to ancient civilizations is going to be able to have strategic partnerships that date back to the ancient days? Yes, they can. Obviously,
Yeah, and it's
it's a
already
different
there.
world.
It's already there. There's 900 countries that they can trade with, and some of the countries is pretty wealthy.
Very wealthy. Look at Mali wiping out debt. What? When you wipe out debt, because when we left America, we didn't really have, we had virtually no debt. We still have virtually no debt. When you're not bombarded with horrible amounts of debt, like, people have 100K in student loans, 500K in mortgage, sub 30, 80K in car payment, whatever. Oh, and then people have credit cards. Like, when you are debt free, do you know how wealthy you are? Like, you are extremely wealthy. Look, the borrower is slave to the lender. That's what the word says. Why does Yahuwah warn us of these things? The borrower is slave to the lender. You're gonna be always be strapped to America when you're a slave to the lender. But when you're debt free, oh, you get to travel, you get to do what you want. So imagine Mali, one of the most powerful ancient kingdoms that ever ruled the earth, is now debt free. Do you think Mali cares about US? Mali don't care about USD. They
Mm,
finna partner with China and Russia and call it a day.
yeah,
They about to call it a day.
it's things happening right in front of our face, and you gotta like prepare, as we always say.
Right. Now, let's talk about how this impacts you as someone living in America. Again, this impacts the American consumer more than anyone else on the face of the planet. Why? Number one, in Africa and in Asia, people are not living a capitalist lifestyle. People are not consumerists. People will eat their chapati, eat their supu, eat their whatever, and be done. They will literally live the most minimalist life and enjoy their life. Okay. America, the exact opposite. People will snap if they don't have, whatever crazy thing they're spending loads of money on. So let's look at the 6 month impact analysis of potential Trump tariffs. Months 1 and 2 is going to be the theme of an immediate economic shock. Sharp increases in prices for everyday goods from electronics to household items as retailers adjust to 60% tariffs on Chinese imports. Again, this will double the price of every type of technology that you receive from China. America receives most of its technology from China and Taiwan, right? That's why they want Taiwan so bad.
Hmm.
Supply chain disruption. Companies scramble to find alternative suppliers, leading to temporary shortages of certain products. Hello, small businesses. When you get your supplies from China and you're in America, this is going to be a problem. Now the price is increasing. You have to charge double as a small business, but your consumer is not able to buy the rate of double because the American economy has already been lynched. Number three for months 1 and 2, market response. Stock market volatility will happen as companies with significant Chinese manufacturing exposure see their costs rise. You're going to see this super duper duper hyper inflation. It's going, if you thought inflation was bad 2024, 2025 going, you going to change the definition of inflation in 2025 and 2026 if he's serious about these tariffs.
Yeah, I know. People always say like, man, they just say like for a farm in America, if they don't do well last year, it's gonna affect this year. So it's pretty much the same thing. If this is happening now, just think about next year. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good at all. Like, look, just get to the resource. Get to the resource.
Get to the resources. Yeah.
And recently, I wanted to look this up because this is crazy. How so China, they just discovered. I want to say this is a week ago, like 5 days ago. China discovers world's largest gold cave in China. It's a cave with gold in it. It's a it's a it's a cave with gold in it, right? This was 5 days ago. Let me know if you guys heard about this. Like, please, I saw it somewhere, and I'm like, what the heck? Ain't no way. But
80 billion in gold.
80 billion in gold.
80
So
billion dollars worth of gold. What? Now who, I just want, can anybody tell me who made that appear in the cave? Was that China's doing? Was that Russia's doing? No, that was the Most High's doing. Say, go forth. I'm freeing you from this captivity, because people don't understand that the institution of Great Britain and her daughter America have colonized the entire planet. People in America don't know this.
yeah, please comment below if you know that, because that was shocking. I just looked it up, and it's true. This is true. They just found
80 billion
a
in gold,
a gold cave.
worth $80 billion. So China, they're like, great, tariffs don't really matter to us. We're gonna trade our gold. Now this is going to give them the confidence that they need. And it's interesting how the Most High allowed that to spring forth up out the ground like that. This is going to give them the confidence they need to fully step aside and say, you know what, bricks all the way. Then
Yeah,
the cherry on top is the Trump tariffs. So that's why I'm like, Trump, he seemed like
he just
he's
be
either
talking.
not smart at all or he's not really for America, because you wouldn't do something like this. Is gonna, like I said, this is a lynch to the economy. It's
Yeah,
literally somebody grabbing the US
I'm
by the
sorry.
neck, tying a rope around it and lynching it, the economy, because this is going to decimate
Yeah,
the
you.
housing market, the cell phone market, the laptop market, the toy market. that everything that's made in China market, just look at everything in Target. Look at the tag, made in China.
Yeah, like Trump, he just be talking too much. He talked too much and then slip up and say something he not supposed to. And this is one of those instances where it's like, he shouldn't have said that because automatically, I, I say already Russia's laughing at him. China just responded and said, "Okay, well we're gonna stop exporting to you."
They don't care. They got there's other humans on earth. When we grew up in America, the way that they raise you up in
Just think,
school is so that you would think that America is the only option. You think Europe is the only option. You see these maps. Europe is big, America's big, Africa small, China small. Ma'am, sir, in real life, Africa's enormous. Russia, humongous. China, my gosh, India.
just
Like all of humanity is outside of America.
exactly. I was about to say we did a video about how America's only 4% of the world's population.
And
Only
it's
four
declining.
percent. Let's think about that. So the other 96% is outside of America. That's 96% that they can trade with each other.
You broke that down so well. Like, let that simmer in your
Yeah, that's
spirit,
like it's
please.
just obvious. Where it's like, man, it's crazy how like, man, never mind. But no, recently I saw a video of somebody like talking about Thailand, and he's like, man, yeah, get outside of America is the American dream. It's so much cheaper and stuff. And recently we just did a video last night about what frustrates us. So go check that out if you haven't. Um, what's it called? State of Diaspora in Africa. But what really frustrates us is that our people they stuck in a way where it's like this is common sense. 90, like which
Come
side
on.
would you choose? The 4% to try to trade amongst, or the 96% to try to trade amongst where most of the resources are. Like it's a
Yeah.
fine line. It's a line like this. Well, I can't. You guys just say this is the U.S., right? This is South America, Brazil, right? So it's a line that goes like this, and then Africa and the East is this way, right? Europe and China. It's a fine line that goes like this and like this, because Brazil is over here with them. They with bricks.
Right. Even though they're in North America, they're with Brit. Right.
So it's
Yeah,
just like
that's right.
it just makes sense to me. I know it makes sense to me to try to be the 96%. That's just like if you buy put a trade in or something, right? And then everybody's about to sell the trade or something,
Mm.
sell the stock. 96% of these people is about to sell, and you want to buy for the 4%.
You're going to lose money.
That it for me, I'm either not going to get in that trade, or I'm just going to go with the 96%.
Yeah. And then let's look at months 3 and 4. So we cover what's going to happen months 1 and 2. Let's say it's spring now. It's spring. You've been watching our channel for whatever reason. You're still not ready to jump on the plane and leave. So months 3 and 4, by springtime, if what he's saying he's going to actually follow up with, manufacturing is going to shift. It's going to be accelerated movement of manufacturing to countries like Vietnam, India, Mexico, though with limited capacity to fully replace the Chinese production. Let's look at this. Two of these nations are actually with BRICS, India and Mexico. I believe Mexico applied to join BRICS. And so keep that in the back of your mind when you're thinking about how manufacturing is going to shift, because again, America basically will not be trading with China according to what Trump is saying. He's saying America is not going to trade with China because of these tariffs. China said, great, we don't need you. We're not going to trade with you. We got ties in Africa. We got ties in Russia. We got ties in Iran. We got ties in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. By the way, the Middle East currencies are stronger than the dollar. Most Americans don't know that. Look it up right now. Okay. So you have inflation pressure coming next, sustained price increases across multiple sectors from food to interior design, from clothing to semiconductors to iPhones, iPads, all the things, as companies pass increased costs to consumers. Again, this is why we say this is like lynching the American economy. It's like Trump hates America, basically, because he's decimating the economy, decimating it. Like, look up decimating. What does it mean to be decimated? Utterly destroyed, destroying the American economy. Okay. And then international relations. Now, because of him cutting ties with China economically, potential formation of new trade alliances between China and other countries affected by US tariffs, particularly who? Drop some countries in the comments that you think are going to be affected by this and what you think is going to happen. I'm going to give y'all like a few seconds and I'm going to tell you where they're saying that this can happen. It's interesting because Revelations talks about how all of Babylon's lovers will start to pull away from her. I want you to think about Babylon, America's lovers. If you think Babylon's not America, please leave because you won't understand. You won't be able to perceive the prophecy that the Most High wrote in Revelations through John the Revelator, okay? But if you're on code with the prophecy that the Most High wrote himself and you know who Babylon is, and you know that they have alliances with the EU. Who's the EU? This is the European Union family. This is Great Britain, Spain, France, Germany, Belgium, Western Europe. Eastern Europe pretty much belongs to Russia, okay? And so these tariffs are going to affect EU nations. EU nations are going to be like, they're going to have their calculator in their hand. They're going to be like, hold up. We need to go with the East. Hold on. Wait a minute. What? These are the countries that are going to be affected because there's going to be a divide, a further divide in the market. There's already a divide in the market, but a further divide where EU, European Union nations are going to leave their lover Babylon, America, and say, I think we need to side with Russia here. Okay. I think it's time to depart from the Israelis here. Okay. I'm not really feeling this. I've ran the numbers. It's not really making sense. Let's depart. So that's months 3 and 4. Now, this is research that we have compiled months 5 and 6, long term structural changes. Okay. So let's say now we're in summer 2025. Ma'am, sir, this is why we suggest that y'all leave in the next 90 days. And it's totally possible. If you binge all of our content, you will see, oh, this is more than possible. If you go through our oldest videos where we covered videos of us still being in Ohio, and then what we did to leave, the business structure we set up, okay? And then even more so if you're like, you know what, I don't have time to watch all these videos. Let me just contact you for strategic advice right now so I have an accountability partner to help me make wise decisions. Because months 5 and 6 are themed long-term structural changes. Global trade patterns. Now it hit America, it hit China, but let's look at global trade. Emergence of new trade routes and partnerships as countries seek to minimize exposure to US China tensions. The countries are going to be like, I'm Switzerland. I don't want no heat with this. I don't want no smoke. They're going to be like, let's ease this. Let's work around this, okay? The economic impact in 6 months. This is going to take you to June, July 2025. Potential slowdown in US economic growth as higher prices dampen consumer spending. I'm going to repeat that. June, July, if Trump makes good on this promise, is going to be an economic slowdown in US growth to the economy as higher prices dampen consumer spending, meaning consumers ain't about to be consumers no more. They about to be minimalists. They're not going to be spending. Small businesses, that means small businesses are going to shut down. That means tech layoffs that were already happening before this are going to be accelerated. W-2 job, you can't trust that. So you might as well start to structure your own business and structure international relationships while you're still at least comfortable to an extent. Because 2025, look, the lid's off. you gonna be at the most utmost uncomfortableness that you've ever experienced because of this policy that he's implementing.
Oh,
Last
that's
thing for months 5 and 6, strategic realignment, possible strengthening of China's relationship. I laugh at this. Like, look at this. Possible strengthening with with China's relationship with the EU and UK and other traditional US allies. Family. My gosh. Oh man. I hope that somebody would just receive the spirit of wisdom and discernment to
yeah.
see
It's just
revelations coming to life on a new level.
yeah.
Babylon's lovers walking away, EU, UK, lovers of America in World War II times. They're going to say by June and July 2025, if not sooner, they're going to start saying Israeli
Yeah,
and Yahoo. We're not really feeling that genocide you've been doing. We're not. US, yeah, we not. Your dollar ain't looking too strong. I think we're gonna go this way.
it just sounds like war to me.
Mm,
Like like they trying to do stuff around America, and America is not gonna like that because that's what the world has been. Like you have to put your money in American dollars and then trade it to something else. No, but now people stepping up. Nope, we're not doing that no more. We gonna trade our currency with whoever we want to trade with. We not going through the U.S. no more. We not going through no middleman no more. And the U.S. is not gonna like that at all. But you said something about um, uncomfortableness. Like the lids on you, it's gonna be very uncomfortable.
mm,
So I'll say you have to choose your uncomfortability. Yeah, you have to choose it
yeah.
or it's gonna get chose for you. You're gonna be like,
Ooh.
dang, I ain't want this then be so uncomfortable where it's
Oh,
like, man,
Father have
where
mercy.
if you choose to leave, of course it's gonna be uncomfortable, but at least it's your choice because you always got a choice. Like really. And this uncomfortable, if you choose to leave and be uncomfortable for a little bit, because it's not forever. It's really not
Yeah.
forever. So it's like um you have to choose this so you will be able to grow and get out your comfort zone because that's just what it is. Like really, like being here in Africa, that's just what it is. Where you can be uncomfortable, but it's a good thing of growth. Like that's yeah, get a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. But that's
Honey,
just a good thing.
get
That's a
you some
blessing
coconut water.
of it
You want
all.
some coconut
Like
water?
being uncomfortable. But you got your mic. Being uncomfortable is a blessing. So choose your comfortability or your uncomfortability before it get chose for you. Because please, it's not about to get any better at all. Gold and silver is what most high blessed man to trade with. Yeah, that's very like that's obvious right there where um what was it? I think it was a couple weeks ago. I believe it was in Congo where they like a mountain fell and it revealed like all this brass, all this metal and stuff. So that's just obvious right there where the material is right in the ground. The Most High is allowing the right people to um, have it right in their hand and they can trade with it. So it's like, man, this is going back to these these um these times of trade is not going to be yeah copper. Thank you, cover girl, copper. So it's just like yeah, it's just going back to that where it's like trading traditionally instead of you know like if she got some rice and I got some beans, let's trade it. You know, if she got the gold and I got the silver, let's trade it. So it's just like
Go back to money.
it's really going back to that.
Go back to resources.
So you gotta be in position for real.
Alternative investments. Like that's the way it's going. We've already diversified our investments and created our wealth management strategy for our family. And that's what you guys are gonna have to start looking into. We're looking at sir. We've been investing in stocks since 2022.
Exactly.
Start diversifying in different markets, and it's like you have to make the right decisions early. If you
Hmm.
make the right if you try to make the right decisions last minute, you're going to make the wrong decisions, and it's not going to make sense. So you need to do it early. You need to look into these things now, because if the disaster ensues and you're like, oh my gosh, I invest in silver, gold, what's this stock? What's that? Start learning now, right?
Yeah.
Don't be a procrastinator. Procrastination is your mortal enemy today. It is your enemy, because the longer you procrastinate, just like we laid out this 6 month, what's going to happen to the US economy? If you procrastinate, what does your next 6 months look like? The choices that you are about to make today dictate the life that you experience in the next 6 months,
Yeah. Like
whether you
really,
like it or not.
really, that's the truth. Like, man, it's always a choice. You have the choice. Like, you have the willpower to change your life for the better, or change your life, or stagnate your life.
Mm,
Like, really, it's really that simple.
yeah.
Like, really, it's crazy to keep saying it, but it's very it's very simple. It's very simple because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
some things are happening, and it's possible in the next 6 months, especially in the next 6 months.
Mm.
And I say that because um we woke up to Bitcoin going over 100,000 per coin, and that's just like, what a lot of stuff's about to change, a lot of
That
stuff.
people aren't even looking in. People are going, if they're not looking into it, they're going to be hit, blindsided, like
Like, trust
yes,
me, I
like the way Trump's lynching the economy. That's what it's going to
exactly,
feel like.
like for us and for me, um of course I heard of Bitcoin. Of course, I'm like, yeah, that cryptocurrency. Hey, everybody keep talking about it. I'm over here like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. But once I turned, it was like, okay, what is this? What is this, y'all?
It's wonderful.
I'm
It's
telling
so
y'all,
great.
like it's about to. If you in the right position,
Mm.
if you can put your money in the right coin and stock and stuff, the next 6 months was is going to be a life changing experience financially.
But I want to preference, because I think what made you so successful in this right now versus a few years ago is that you started reading the charts.
Yeah, you
You've
got
been
to.
studying this for the last year since we've landed in this new African country. You've been really studying like the business side of it, the
Hmm.
charts, the all those terminologies. I don't know what you be saying. Like you'll look at a chart and be like, "This is consolidating." You break it down, you're like, "That means in a little bit it's going to shoot back up. This is a good time to buy."
Yeah,
You need
it.
to have that foundation, or crypto stocks, none of it will make sense, and you'll make silly moves, and you'll try to buy something when it's already up, and you will lose because it's about to go down. It's like the same idea of having insight and foresight. Without insight and foresight and understanding to receive dreams and visions from the Most High, you will make moves that don't make sense.
Hmm.
You will make moves that are not profitable. Because I remember in 2019, I would try to look at crypto. I would buy it like, oh, somebody said, oh, it shot up. I'd be like, oh, let me buy it. And you lose all the money because you don't have the background of reading the charts. When you have that skill of reading charts, that's like you can't lose. You
Hmm.
become your own ATM, like literally.
Yeah,
Like we
and
were
that's
talking
what.
like groceries. All we got high yield savings accounts, multiple stock accounts, like
Hmm.
truly wealth management, so that our entrepreneurship, our business is protected. Also, one, we haven't worked for a W-2 employer, and I haven't worked for a W-2 employer since 2016, 2017. He hasn't worked for a W-2 employer since 2020 when we left. And we have not been back. Why?
Hmm.
Entrepreneurship and then wealth management. Two
Yeah, and
things.
it's crazy that it's just in our mind. Like, you got to get it out your mind that, like, you are worthy of this. Like, you are worthy of investing. We think, oh, when, because I was thinking, like, I know the other day we was on a walk, and I'm like, dang, so this is how people really be wealthy. They make the right moves. They make very good moves where their investment is going to be good for years.
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah.
like, huh, oh, this is so. It's
Praise
not.
the
It's
Most
yeah.
High.
It's not that. Look, the Most
Look at the
High
Most High.
reveals stuff
Yeah.
to the right people at the right time because I believe what we are starting to experience, people don't understand and get this uh under or knowledge at an early age.
Yeah.
Like it's probably going to be
Yeah.
over 40, and then they going it's going to click for most people. Like,
Mm.
oh, this is yeah, I've been doing this, but for us, it's like, dang, she look, she's still in her 20s.
I ain't even hit 30 yet.
I
Look at the
just
Most
turned
High.
30, and it's just like, dang, okay, this is how people get financially free.
Hmm.
Like, oh, okay, wow, makes sense now, and it's
Right.
very simple.
And
Don't make it hard.
you can backtrace our steps like we were saying earlier when I think it's important to have this context also when we think about a successful move to the continent. Again, you're speaking to people who have virtually zero debt. The average American has six figures in debt. We don't have any debt, and the little debt we have is like $4,000. That's it. We don't survive on credit cards. We don't survive on whatever debt. I don't even know how people get these amounts of debts now because it's insanity to me from my perspective. But you're talking to people when you talk about successful move to Africa, and people are like, how do you make it? Because we don't owe nobody. We pay our taxes. We do things. We don't owe nobody.
Yeah.
We don't have no huge bulging debt force on our shoulder that's like extracting all of our money. So instead, our money goes into high yield savings. Our money can go into stocks. Our money can go into crypto. Our money can go into expanding our enterprise.
Hmm. And Africa teaches you how to uh pretty much move with the times, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so it's like what worked in America, right? Just say if you had a put it like that, uh if you started with Instagram marketing, right? Instagram marketing, everybody do it now, so you got to move on to something else. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So Africa, it
Right.
teaches you how to think outside the box, where it's
Yeah.
like, man, I gotta figure something out.
Yeah.
And what's happening right now with these charts and stuff, I don't think that's gonna change. Like you got to be in a lane where stuff where you know it's gonna change for the better in the future, and you can get in and get out, get in and get out, get in and make your money, and you don't have to fully believe in what's going to happen in the future, but you better get financially free.
Right. Because Joseph in Egypt obviously didn't believe in Egyptian gods,
Oh
clearly, but
man,
he's second to command. There's only one person above him in Egypt who is Pharaoh. He's second in command.
that's
What?
deep. Yeah.
And he don't believe in no Egyptian gods. He don't believe in the pantheon of whoever they got. He believes in the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, while he believes in the Most High increases him and makes him insanely wealthy. Have you read the book of Joshua, ma'am, sir? The way Joseph built his house?
It took 30
Joseph was
years.
good. His family couldn't take it. His brothers, they look at this younger sibling like, you had a dream that you were going to be above us and we were worshiping you. That enraged his family, his brothers so
Mm.
much. His brothers who he look up to them as a little brother, he loves them dearly. He loves his dad. He be having his little colorful coat. He was just so loving and caring towards his family. They couldn't take it. We were just talking about this. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness comprehends it not. That was actually that verse before it was written.
Mm.
The light shine, and this is inside the Israelite community. The light shines in the dark, and the Most High loves to do this with the younger generation. This is a pattern and a thing the Most High does, because you can see this also with the children of Israel in the Exodus. Something with the younger generation. You can see this also with King David being the youngest and his family being the youngest brother and being anointed and chosen and called out as the black sheep of the family. So we have two or three witnesses, but
Mm-hmm.
his family couldn't take it. He's having dreams and he just wants to tell it. He's like, you mad at me because I had a dream. It's not my fault the Most High sent me the dream. I'm just telling you the dream to relay the information. And that enraged them to a point. They said, we need to throw this man in the well. Let's think about what we're going to do. Simeon, he's like, let's kill him. Let's take him out. Judah's like, we ain't going to go that far. We're not going to kill him. He's our brother. Like, how about we just sell him? time. He'll be alive, and he'll be all right. We'll tell dad that he got somebody, animal ate him or something. We'll bring back his coat. And Joseph, can you empathize with how Joseph felt? Like,
Yeah, I can.
I love y'all,
Yeah,
man.
I
Oh,
definitely
we
can.
can. Oh, I love
I'm
y'all.
I'm the youngest in my family. Where it's like,
Oh,
hallelujah,
I
hallelujah.
love y'all. Y'all throw me to the wolves. What? In a foreign land. The Arab traders get him first. Then the Arabs trade him to the Egyptians. Now he's in Egypt, right? Let's empathize with Joseph for a minute. Read Genesis 30, no, 40 through 50, okay? So he's in Egypt. Now somebody else lying on him. He's like, gosh. He's like, I can't win for nothing. But what I do know is the Most High is good. He didn't stop believing in the Most High's goodness. So he gets thrown in jail for something he didn't do because the Pharaoh's wife wants him. He runs. Joseph's like, no, I'm not breaking no commands from the Most High. I don't care who you are, how old you are, what position you in. I'm not breaking the Most High's commands. I will run and go the opposite direction because I'm going to keep the Most High's laws. Doesn't matter. He runs. Joseph runs. And even though he kept the law, this is why people who say this false notion of this thing with karma of like, oh, you get what you deserve. Joseph didn't do nothing to deserve it. Joseph kept the Most High's laws and was still put in jail. Hmm?
Yeah. But
So
you,
let's be real. Joseph, to an extent, for a long period of his life in his early years, he was taken advantage of in a way that he didn't deserve because he was righteous in the sin. He was running. But the Most High doesn't forget the righteous. He says, David in Psalm says, I've never seen the righteous begging bread or his seed forsaken. So he's starting to receive dreams in prison. He's receiving dreams, or sorry, he's starting to interpret dreams in prison because Pharaoh had a dream, okay? And he had a dream of the famine that was coming in the land. He said, I've seen these seven fat cows, and then these seven lean cows. What on earth does that mean? Then he has another dream that's similar that represents the famine. Joseph interprets it. Pharaoh's like, oh, Yah is real. Hold on. What? You know what, Joseph, since you're so good at interpreting dreams, since you have the insight and the foresight and the understanding from the Most High, you're going to become top command. Now, isn't this interesting? He becomes top command in a pagan pantheon nation. He's not top command with his brothers. A prophet's not known to his own people. That's what Matthew says. He comes to top command in a pagan pantheon society. Top in command. Pharaoh said, you're not going to be second to nobody but me. You got the reins of the kingdom, sir. And Joseph, being righteous, he's like, great. And I'm going to still praise the Most High. Fantastic. Hmm? I love the story of Joseph. It's just
yeah,
so great. It resonates
that's
with
a
me.
it's
I'll be
a
like,
it's a
hallelujah.
great story. I
It's
look.
wonderful.
Yeah, that's look. Every Shabbat we watch that cartoon too. I think it's
I
the King
love
of
Joseph.
Egypt,
I can read it over and over. I
and
can read
then
it in Jasher and pull new insights from it every time. Like, oh, hallelujah, Joseph.
yeah,
And by the way, he also got a double portion. Most tribes receive just one portion, but Joseph had a double portion. He had Ephraim and Manasseh, his two sons. Okay? So you need to start praying, Father, how can I have the blessing, the wisdom, the discernment, and the self control as Joseph? That's what you need to be praying because I like to pray on code. I'm gonna just say I pray on code. I have very specific prayer points that are on code that the Ruach gives me, the Spirit of the Most High. They're on code every time, every single time. All praises due to the Most High. But it's like this is what we have to think of, family.
yeah, and really every situation. So if you struggling financially and the Most High bless you with $10,000, you should be like, have that joy for a second, but it's always going to be hallelujah, all praises to the Most High, and just keep going. Like really, that's a prime example is Joseph. Like he had everything, but he was still obedient. He was still praying to the Most High. He was not stopping his righteousness. He was not stopping
Yeah.
what he needed to do. Um, Especially because like he was in the pit. Put it like that. He was in the
Mm.
pit and still trusting the Most High. He was in prison, still trusting the Most High, praying to the Most High,
Yeah.
not worrying, still uh, giving, you know, his joy never stopped.
Yeah.
So you got to have joy in every situation. In
Right.
every situation, you got to know it's going to be okay. So whatever you're going through right now, it's for a reason. It's for a season, and it's for the future.
Yeah.
Like really.
Because you don't hear one complaint come out of Joseph's mouth. But you know, if you look at his childhood, he was the closest to his dad. So it's no wonder he didn't have trouble trusting the Most High. We were talking about this before. Children who are able to have a close relationship with their father find it easier to trust the Most High. This is why I believe it's in Micah, where the Most High says, I'm going to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children. This is critical. This is a critical prophecy. Because if the hearts of the fathers are not turned to the children have an issue trusting Yah. I'm going to say it again. If the hearts of the fathers are not towards the children, then there's an issue trusting the Most High. That's why this strange doctrine of men don't take care of their children, this is not biblical. You won't find one excellent for you won't find Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that's just like, leave them children over there and go, I'm gonna go out here and do this. You don't find that written in the scriptures. So you're receiving this word or this message from the adversary, and you're thinking, oh, this is the Most High. No, the hearts of the fathers must be turned to the children, because without that, there's going to be a problem with the children growing up to be able to trust their heavenly father. This is why we homeschool.
Yeah.
This is why you have to be an intentional parent to protect your children,
Hallelujah.
because the hearts of the fathers must be turned to the children.
Yeah.
It has to happen. It's the only way for our people to get out of this situation. If our people want to repent and not just say with lip service, your heart would be turned towards your children. Okay?
Yes.
Repentance without your heart being towards your children is not repentance. It's just you being self-righteous and you just making a fool out of yourself. And yeah, because you can't, the fruits are simple. You can say whatever you like. You can be up prancing around, dance, whatever you want, and know all the Hebrew words and all the, whatever. But if your heart is not for your children, you have not been perfected in the love of the Most High.
Yes.
Because his heart is ever towards his children. The Most High said, I look down and I inscribe you on the palm of my hand. I could only forget Jerusalem if a nursing mother forgets her suckling baby. I breastfed for 5 years. Do you know how intricate and special breastfeeding is? I breastfeed every 2 to 3 hours. I'm always looking down at my daughter. I've been doing this for 5 years because I've been breastfeeding since 2018. Okay. With our third son, or with our second son, Josiah, our third child. And so I know when the Most High says that if a suckling mother could forget her child, it's literally impossible for me to forget my child, because the milk will flow in and my body itself will tell me, go get your child. The Most High says if a suckling mother could forget her, so how much more does the Most High not forget you? But again, you may have trouble with this if you're not actively living out life the way it should be lived, breastfeeding, married, having a relationship with your father. These are things that draw you to the Most High because this is his proper function.
Mm-hmm. And being a father too, like that. Because look, I know you guys always see me get up. Because look, I'm the only one. Well, not the only one, but I'm just saying, like, they always want me to help them with everything. Like, especially the little ones. They come, hey, can I have juice? Can I have water? Hey, I need help. Scrolling up to pick this YouTube video. So I need help. I need help. I need help. So it's just a trust thing where it's it helps me. It helps me still be a child and understand the role of a child too, to the Most High, to the Father.
Yeah.
So it's just a blessing, like really, like being a husband, being a father, being a brother, and that's just it's 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 a gift. It's all this is a gift from the Most High.
Right, right. Yeah, it's good that you said it because what I thought about is how you made it safe for them to come and ask you. You
Yeah.
will have some fathers that are very cruel, they're very mean. The children feel that, and so they won't feel comfortable coming to them.
Yeah, and
They won't have mothers are like that as well, though. I mean,
it's different
we've
levels
grown up
too.
in the black community where mothers will cuss their children out, fathers will cuss their children out. You'll say, "Oh, I'm disciplining them." You're abusing the mess out of them.
Yeah.
They feel like they can't come to. I was so glad. Like our older children will come to me, one is a teenager, and just tell me what they're thinking about. Tell me their thoughts. Tell me, like, when I was a child, I didn't always feel comfortable doing that. There are lots of us that didn't feel comfortable with that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, the fact that our children, even our older children, will come and tell us what's on their mind, tell us what they're struggling with, be so excited to tell us their thoughts is the fruits of having this great unified relationship with our
Hmm.
children where they feel comfortable saying anything. Like our children, they feel comfortable saying anything to us, just asking us, like, what is this? Or hey, I feel like this, or hey, I'm kind of feeling sad, or I feel whatever, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling angry.
I,
Because so many children aren't able to have that relationship with their parents because their parents are under the distress and duress of living in a capitalist society. This is why for us, it's no question, why won't you live in America? Because I love my children. That's why.
hmm
That may sound insane. For some, it is, but quite frankly, I love my children, so I can't live in America because the society doesn't love them and they don't love me, and I'm not going to be stressed out. I'm going
Yeah.
to be living my best life, slow living with my children. I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah. It's different levels too. It's different levels from the 1 year old to the 3 year old to the 7 year old to the 10 year old to the 13 year old. It's all different levels. So man, it's just a blessing to see the levels and understand. Hey, some days you might need to be that 1 year old to the most, like you need to seek the most high like a 1 year old.
Mm,
Sometimes you need to be that 7 year old. So it's like it's different levels right in front of our face to see how we should really be trusting the most high and calling on the most high. Like really that's the foundation. That's really
yeah,
the foundation where
that's
you
good.
just need to have even before leaving America. While in America, you should already have this. I'm pretty sure most of the people that's watching this understand what I'm saying because you should already, if you have some type of understanding, some type of common sense, some type of wisdom, discernment, you should already know this.
Yeah,
And it just increases in Africa because
yeah.
you have to, like, faith without works is dead. Like really.
Mm,
And if you're not working at faith, I'm telling you, it's not
yeah.
going to increase.
Oh, that's so
It's
real.
really
And then
not going to
Africa
increase.
even helps as well because to the African, in African society, and even like Asian societies, but in the African society, the child, so it's like this picture of a circle, and the Bible is circular as well. It's this picture of the circle. The child is right here in the middle, the parents, then the elders in the community. The whole society is focused on the child. Everybody cares about the child. The father cares about the child. You will come to Africa, fathers are holding their children. Fathers are playing with their children at the park.
Mm.
Fathers are sitting there to go out with their children and having that one-to-one time with them. I remember my dad. We would love to go to this hobby store with him, and he would just like buy all these airplanes and trains and set up all these gadgets. I was not interested in that stuff, but because I loved my dad, I wanted to do it. What? Meaning I'm willing to go anywhere my father goes. Now that my dad's passed away, I'm willing to be interested in anything that my heavenly father's interested because he's interested in it.
Mhm.
That's like, and you see that in Africa. The mother will be breastfeeding the children because, again, the average African woman, the average African man got 4 children. So the older children going to have to be with the father if the mother has to breastfeed this newborn baby all the time. Somebody's going to have to care about the older children. Okay. If y'all, once you get out of having like 2 children, you start to see the functionality of the biblical narrative and why African society operates the way that it does around the child. Everybody surrounding the child. It's not this thing of like, oh, send them children out there, dude. No, I ain't touching that child. There's none of that. You don't have time for that when you've been given such a big portion of blessing. Do you think Abraham would ever let a crazy sentence like that come out of his mouth? Abraham, do you know how much Abraham loved Isaac because it took him so long to have Isaac with Sarah?
Mm.
The promise. He was cherished. Now, when you grow up being cherished like that by your mother and your father, you grow up very confident. Jacob, very confident. Isaac, very confident. Even the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, you have that many children. We don't even have, we just have 5 children, okay? We don't have no 12 children. But you can start to see, wow, the entire tribe and community would have to be surrounded by the children because there's so many of them and there's such a nuance to each one,
Mm.
okay? And so you'll only find this in Africa. You don't find this in America. America is a society that despises children, especially black children. If you're black with lots of children in America, even your black family, like, and you're like, but Genesis says be fruitful and multiply. I'm married. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't depend on nobody but the Most High. So I'm free to have as many children as the Most High blesses me with.
Mm.
What? But in America, that's like, they act like that's a crime. Oh my gosh, when are you going to stop having children? I don't know. Would you like the population to continue decreasing? Hmm? These are things, this is why we moved out of America and do not return. So for us, it's more than a trend. It's more than, oh, we can save money. I'm telling you, even if I lived in Angola, which they say is one of the most expensive countries in Africa, I would live there and not return to America because it's the fundamentals of the society in Africa that I agree with. I don't agree with American society. I don't agree with European culture. Sorry, I don't. So that's what keeps me grounded in Africa. I agree with African culture and African society. I've been studying African culture and African society since 2015. I dreamed of this life for years before it came to fruition. I prayed for this life for years before it came to fruition. So why would I, knowing what I prayed for, go and renege my prayer and be like, well, I'm gonna just give up? Huh? The Most
Yeah.
High would be like, what? Huh? Daughter, why would you do that? I wouldn't do that. That's why I don't.
And once you do your research and know the truth, America's not for us. It was never for us. We was forced there. So, you just gotta understand, like, man, it's not for you. It's really not for you. Come over here and get some sun, get some vitamin D.
Mm,
For real.
yeah, get some sun. That's
Get some
real.
healthy food.
Yeah, get some fresh air, breathe. Go hike up a
Yeah.
mountain.
That fresh air.
Go
The
ride in a
clouds.
boat.
The cloud is real clouds here. It's like, you know, it's just beautiful. It's really beautiful. Man, I saw a picture the other day of somebody like taking a picture like this, and the clouds was in the back, and it was just all like streaks.
Dang, I forgot about that stuff over
And I'm
there.
like, dang, that's wild.
Wow.
We don't even see that over here in Africa.
I think if I went back to America, it would be like a culture shock. I would be like, "What is this?" I would probably lose it, to be honest. I know. If I went back there, I would lose it, man. Because when I was there, I was like, "Oh, I had to read Psalms every few." I'm like, I can't stand this society. I can't take it. That's
Mhm.
why I'm like, I can't take not one more day of this. And
Yes.
so I was continuing in prayer every day. I'm like, Father, please get me out of this land. Please. I would walk to Panera Bread in the morning. And I would just be like, Father, get me out of this place. And once he granted, I said, Father, I won't return. If you get me out, I won't go back. I'm not a dog that goes back to its vomit. Look, if the Father bless me, I'll keep my word and be like, all right, I ain't going back. Thank you, Father. If you provided the provision, what am I going back for? For what?
Hmm.
To do, huh?
And that's
Why?
and that's what we really try to get our people to understand, like change their mindset. Like that's what State of the Diaspora is for. Like we really trying to get our people to understand that hey, this is possible. You do not have to return. Do these strategic moves, have this strategic plan because we did it. Like why wouldn't you listen to somebody that already did it and see how things work? And no matter where you go in the world, really, pretty much, for us, Africa is the resource. So in Africa, you can move around free as charge. Well, not I want to say free as charge, but you can you can move around freely and not have to go back to America because it's
Yeah.
possible. It's
Yes, more than
possible,
possible.
and we try to tell our people like, man, this is valuable information that you need to get and need to know. Like
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. And I'm so thankful that even people like Melanin Migration before we left, Traveling Sista, what else did we watch? I used to watch Lucia the Black Unicorn. I'm so thankful that people were willing to share their lifestyle in Africa because if we didn't see it, we wouldn't know what's possible.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have that. That's why I so appreciate even business mentors that are willing to publicly share their journey. When people publicly share, it's like, oh, thank you. I've been given to access to information that I wouldn't otherwise have. Like even the country we're in with our almost 70 members, we're at like 68 members. They wouldn't know because we're basically the only people that have gone into this country because we were called here. Nobody would really know. And it's like we have to be willing to, and I've talked about this before, how in my grandparents' house was this picture of this like lift as you climb type of thing where on the wall there's this guy holding his hand down to his brother and they're going
Hmm.
like this to lift as he's pulling his
Yeah.
brother up. Like that's the theme of our channel, Journey with Us. We knew, first of all, when we left, we knew we would never return to America. You're gonna say, how did you know that? Because we know, the end. It was a conscious decision. I'm not returning to America. Told my granny, told my mom, told my cousins, when you gonna be back? I don't think I will.
Hmm.
I'll probably never be back. I
Yeah.
don't desire to be back. I have zero desire, negative 100 desire actually to be back.
But this,
To
this,
be honest,
this is a good question. It says, do you got mama free? Hallelujah, mama free. Um, do you guys think still having property in the states is a good idea? I
ooh, that's a good
I
question.
I want you to answer it from a standpoint of having property in the states and being here in Africa, not answer it from like selling it and being here.
Not answering it from selling it and being here. So we sold property,
No, you say what's
but
the
you're saying don't
benefit?
answer it like that.
What's the benefit of having property in the states while being in Africa?
The benefit is obviously the USD, the passive income, right? Now, the nuance of it is going to be managing and balancing, okay, you're in to know is this going to be sustainable in 2025 or is the housing market going to crash? That's my only thing. That's why we were like, let's sell, let's be done, let's amplify what we're doing here,
Yeah,
building a cabin in the Usambara mountains and all these things. That's the nuance. And if you're like, hey, how can I get these projections? Check out our partners.
and the
Where we'll put the
financing.
ebook down below
Hmm.
to get on a call with our partners because we work with international real estate developers, realtors that have recently moved to Kenya, that have property and relationships in Dubai and Ghana, and they sold their house, right? So there is this nuance of
But what about the
seeing
the
how the market's going to be,
equity
but
and
in
stuff?
a good market, if the market remains good for a little while, you can have that home equity that you can pull out of your home that you can use to finance your property over here if you choose the right country. The caveat, every country doesn't do this. The one we're in
Yeah.
doesn't subscribe to members only. But it's also that careful because I had our house, our inheritance that was projected on our bank account, so we could see like the fluctuation in net worth, and we could see like how it increased over time. If it was going to decrease over time, that would be the only thing I would look at. And I would look at talking to an international realtor, an international CPA, an international real estate lawyer. And I'm not talking somebody in like a country like Tanzania or Malawi. You want to talk to somebody that is used to high value properties. You're so cute, Gigi. You want to talk to somebody used to high value properties and has a
Mm-mm.
track record
No.
of a proper record of selling real
Wait.
estate.
Wait.
Now we've worked with finance and real estate since 2018. Okay, so this is why we know a lot about the industry. But you want to talk to them and see, okay, what are the capital gains? For example, this is really getting to members only. Y'all gonna have to subscribe subscribed. But for the country we're in, the capital gains in some of the places we're in is like 6 to 9% returns on average. If you know anything about investing, that's
Hmm.
a great return. That's bigger than our high yield savings account. Okay, so the capital gains, I can tell it to you better in story format. My father bought property in the Ashkenazi Jewish community for $91,000 in 2000. The property is now worth $314,000. That's good capital gain. So that's why I'm like location, location, location. I wouldn't buy property somewhere and I wouldn't hold and retain property somewhere that's declining. That's why I'm saying look at the financial projections of the property that you own, because if it's declining, I would probably leave that and sell it while you
Yeah,
still can.
yeah. And this is
But if you're in a property like the Ashkenazi Jewish community, if you have property in a wise area that gets quick capital gains, you ain't seeing no dip. You seeing straight upward momentum. I'd probably keep it for a while and just see how it
yeah.
does. And remember to monitor the financial projections because that's what's going to dictate whether you buy, sell, hold, whatever you do.
Man, y'all getting some information, good state of diaspora information.
Just a quick demo,
Yeah,
there's a lot where that came
yeah,
from.
that's what we like. All the information that is right there, like really, like that's not even a quarter of it. Where you can like really be financially free. So that's like keeping it. But if you want to sell it, of course you can sell it.
Right.
Obviously you have your money, and you can come here to Africa. Look, you're supposed to be watching this. You will have your money, and but you have to be very smart with your money because it will trickle down. Like if you have money here in Africa, you believe that you can do any and everything. That's that just comes with it. Like when we first landed here in Africa, uh, it was T shillings, 10,000 T shillings, right?
Tanzania shilling.
Yeah. Um, we used to tip people with 10,000 T shillings, right? When we first got, we didn't know. We was just like, oh, that's only $4. You get what I'm saying?
Remember, you're not in the
But
American economy.
yeah, but um, for them, that's like, man, that's a week's worth of like that's a week's pay of worth or worth of pay, like really. So it's like, man, you have to really be strategic. If you sell your house, you got to know what you're doing.
Like 3 or 4 days worth of pay.
You gotta pick the right African country. Like really, you
That's
have to pick
critical.
the right African country because, of course, you can buy a property somewhere, but what does that mean for your residency? What does that mean for your long term investing and stuff? So it's like, yeah,
So cute, Gigi.
yeah. She turned it off, or you turned it off?
Oh, it's off. I didn't know.
Oh,
I mean, you
yeah,
can just share that one.
yeah. So it's just like you really got to choose the right African country, and this is what we really break down in state of diaspora because like our people really need to understand this. Like it's possible that look, this is what these other nations do. They know this information and they tell their other people, and their other people be like, okay, cool, I'm coming because the plan. This is a perfect plan.
Yeah, and they do.
Is it on?
They parade around, and they will do like tours with their community. And our people, you try to get our people to have a little bit of information. They're like, oh, ego will be the death of our community.
Hmm.
Ego. If our people cannot get over their ego, and typically from a mental health perspective, because I used to work in healthcare when I was very young, I got into healthcare at 16 years old. From a mental health perspective, when somebody is so focused on their own ego, a lot of times they're hurt. We understand the trauma, but it's like at some rate, you're going to have to grow up and become accountable. You're going to have to grow up and be accountable for your own self. Like our community does not love to do that. Like this is why I love working with Ghanaians and Nigerians because we can do business with Ghanaians and Nigerians and they just instantly get it. It's just instant, it's simple. I don't know why I connect with my West African people so easy, but it's like when we do business, it's not no questions, it's not no doubts. We shake hands, we're on code, we signing contracts, we making powerful moves. That's it. And we distribute the wealth and resources within our community. West Africans. and I'm not even in West Africa, okay? I'm in Southeastern Africa. But West Africans are on code with the black dollars. They will be so on code because they're lawyers, they're doctors, they're finance professionals, they're CPAs. And so when they see another expert, expertise recognizes expertise. I'll put it like that. Like real recognizes real, expertise recognizes expertise.
Mm-hmm.
So our West African people, our cousins that immigrate to the US and do abundantly well, they surpass many black Americans because they're accountable. They're not walking around like, oh, that war happened in 1990 and oh, this and this. They don't act like that.
The choice is
They don't
yours.
act like
The
that. They're
choice is yours.
accountable. They're ready to do partnership. And not only do they do partnership, but they're loyal in the partnership that they do. Like they won't be like scatterbrained. They won't be like, I'm a kind of invest, because anytime you're scatterbrained and you have a lot of doubt, an unstable man is unstable in all his ways. A lot of Africans, they have this level of loyalty that is unmatched.
They have this level of community, and
That's
this is
okay.
this is what you'll learn when coming here to Africa. Like really, like you be like, man, why is it so hard for me to trust some people? Why is it so hard to for me to trust my own people? Like just the other
Yeah.
day, me and the boys went to go get a haircut, and I met this Cameroonian at the barbershop. I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? This is great. So it's wow, that's great. And no matter where you are in Africa, we literally sat there because we had to wait a while, but we sat there and talked for like an hour because we're just trading stories. We're like, it's an understanding. Like he was so shocked where he knew I was from America. Of course, he got a picture of people from America, but he's like, bro, you are different. You are African, and I'm like, yeah, I've been here a while, so I understand
Yeah.
you, and I know you understand me, so
Yeah.
I know how to I know how to catch the vibe right there.
You're African.
Yeah,
Like physically and spiritually, you're African.
yeah, and it's a blessing to be here, really.
Yeah. Yeah. But for us, even, I think another thing for context is even when we were in Ohio, we supported black businesses. Like we went completely out of our way. I used to be a contributor for Black Women Hustle. I will always preference African businesses. I will always preference the black dollar circulating because I grew up in the Ashkenazi Jewish community and saw how tightly knit that community is. They will always preference, and the Ashkenazi Jewish
True.
community, sometimes if you're not even Jewish, they won't even do business with you. Even if you're still European and let's say somebody is like, let's say Spanish, they're a Catholic Spanish person. The Ashkenazi Jewish community, they'll be cordial with you. That's cool and all. The Ashkenazi Jewish community, they'll be cool with you. That's fine and all if you have a different community, but their dollar circulates within their community. The black dollar will stay in
Six
the community
hours.
about 2 times and then it's
No,
gone.
6 hours. Like, look it up. You should.
Six
Yeah,
hours
it's
is that
crazy.
bad? Oh
It's
my
so crazy how
gosh.
like other. I think the Asian community is like months. Chinese community is months or days or something. The Jewish is a
Years.
couple weeks or something. But it's like what the heck? This is very troubling information.
Yeah, but
6 hours. Somebody said that 6 hours.
dang.
Jewish 20 days. The Asian community 30 days.
Asian community even more on code. And we've been around even people from the Asian community. Even when we were talking about our driver and there's people outside of our community are so on code,
Yeah,
okay?
our driver. That's a good example. Our
They're
driver.
so on
But
code.
this is somebody that we call pretty much every time when we need to go shopping with the whole family because he has a big enough car for us. He said, "Hey, I'm out of town. Hit my brother up if you need a taxi." And he just understood. Yes, they have a big family. Here's a big van for you guys. So that's just somebody that's his brother right there. That's his brother's household.
And on top of that, what really got me, you asked him,
Yeah, that's his brother's household. Yeah.
what really got me, you asked him, you were like, So should we call you? He said, no, always go back to who you first found me. A lot of times in the black community, we'll have a crabs in a barrel mentality. And when I say black, I'm not referring to African. I'm referring to black American because I don't have this issue with Africans. Africans stay on code. Black Americans will instead try to like bypass you, try to kick you out the way, and try to get over on you. They don't do that in Asian and African communities. That's unheard of. He said, "No, stick with your first driver and then let me know. Then he'll let me know if he wants to be able to send me out to get you." That's on code. That's hierarchy. That's loyalty. What? We were like, okay, now that shows us how to discern spirits when we see our own black Americans. Because I'm going to be quite honest with you, I keep Black Americans at a distance. I am more willing to come in community with Ghanaians, Nigerians, Kenyans, because these are the three demographics of people that have been most loyal in life and business. Okay. Not only do they refer us, they trust us completely. We do business for years on end and they repeat and come back. And we have an understanding. If we say something, they're obedient and they listen. Our clients that do 8 figures in revenue will come and listen to us because we have strategy on messaging and marketing that they don't have. They will come and sit down and listen. This is somebody that owns an 8 figure. You may say, why would they listen to you? Because I have a higher level of knowledge on messaging and marketing strategy. Because I've sat down with $850 million firms and helped them to critique their strategy. And so for them, it would be foolish of them not to listen. They know this, but again, Africans are used to submitting to different people. Okay. They already are taught to submit to their elders. So if somebody is an elder in a particular industry than them, they're going to submit to that person and understand, hey, I'm in finance and consulting, but I'm not a marketing strategist. So let me listen to the international marketing strategist that has been to different demographics around the world. We don't have that issue with Africans that we work with.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this again. The dollar circulates 6 hours in the black community. 6 hours in the black community. 20 days in the Jewish community and 30 days in the Asian community.
City of
Six
Detroit.
hours. 6 hours. It's not even a day. It's not even half a day. It's a quarter of a day.
Golly. So we have 6 hours versus a month.
Like
And
that
then we
that
say,
blows
why is
my
our
mind.
community destroyed?
Yeah.
Oh God. And so you gotta make the decision like we made. We see, okay, I'm not gonna have any viability in this community. Goodbye. I'm going to Africa. I need to
At
talk to some
least
real
at
kings.
least that would put it at 8 hours probably. Something like that's great. Like coming to Africa, that just catapults that those hours.
Because you buying black
But
on black.
yeah,
So I don't, because in Ohio, we would have to search out black owned companies to work with. We'd have to search out, hey, if I want to buy lipstick, I'm going to order it. I used to work with this brand, Zanzi Beauty. Shout out to them, Black Girl Sunscreen. I'm going to always support Black businesses, but we would buy from Black owned entrepreneurs, even in Ohio. There was this bomb, I still can't remember their name. They had the best burgers, meaning I don't care if the small business is more expensive than McDonald's. I'm not supporting white owned capitalist businesses. I will go 50 million times out of my way to support Black. Why? Because I'm helping somebody's child, because I value and love my community and I love myself. If I love myself, I support my people. If I hate myself, my money goes 6 hours out. It is done in the black community. What? Self love. So check out Say the Diaspora only if you love yourself. That's the only way you'll be able to even fathom it. To be quite honest, 6 hours, like good deliverance. 20 days in the Jewish community, 30 days in the Asian community. Even though the black dollar is one of the most powerful dollars on earth, $1.8 trillion. Woo! But man, them other communities begin. This is why the other communities rise above us in America. That's why we're like, no, this our the way we think isn't gonna work in America. The way we support Africans, America's not conducive. I'm telling you, African immigrants, Nigerian, Ghanaian, Sierra Leonean, they go out of their way to hire other African immigrants. I've worked with African immigrants that are doctors, lawyers, finance professionals. They go out of the way to not hire Europeans. Right. Yeah, because like we were saying, we're in partnership with multiple people that are African immigrants in America that have flourishing businesses. So we collaborate for a specific project. And the developer, he's late to a lot of the calls. I'm not the one in charge of him. I'm just like facilitating the movement as the marketing strategist, working directly with the CEO. Okay. And so he'll be late to some of the calls, and because I live in Africa, I understand the nuance of having grace for that. I like to be on time for every call, but I understand the nuance of having grace. And this is where the loyalty comes in. She did not push this man to the side and say, "Oh, you're late, I'm going to the white community." She was like, "No, this is my community, I'm sticking with it." Now, well, he could have conversations. She would tell him like, "Hey, we'd like you to be on time. Hey, Tiffany was trying to get on a call with you, what happened?" That's love. But when you hate your community and you hate yourself, you're like, "Oh, get out the way. Where's the white man? Bring him in." Hmm? Even learning from our clients now, is like, wow, the way that they operate, wow, they be so on code. Black entrepreneurs, it's hard for them to African American, I'll say African American entrepreneurs. African entrepreneurs don't have this issue.
Yeah. We just gotta be on code, and I know Africa will help us be on code because if you don't understand African people, it's gonna be a struggle to get on code with our people. Um, the Most High is getting closer to the earth, and He's calling the remnant back home, and that's how it's gonna be able to happen is if we become a tight knit community, like really. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You gotta say anything else?
That's all I have to say. It's a topic I love to talk about, but that's just like the context behind. I think it had a lot to do with, though, our success in Africa and our willingness to stay in Africa, because we come with a mindset of I buy black. So I don't care how annoying a certain country may be. I will choose Africa every day intentionally. Every single day, I will choose Africa. It's just like a marriage. I'll choose my husband every single day intentionally. I will choose my children every single day intentionally. It's fidelity, it's loyalty, it's can you be trusted with your word, or are you like scattered everywhere? Because the unstable man is unstable in not one of his ways, not three of his ways, not four, five, 20 of his ways, all his ways. So let's be stable as a community, but only the remnant's going to get it. We understand that. And we are so happy and thankful to be in relationship and community with African entrepreneurs, because it's just such a blessing and so refreshing coming from the African American community.
Yes. So hallelujah, guys. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a good live or early live. I'm about to go get some coffee. We're gonna go cook some breakfast. Um, and let us know your questions below. Comment below. Um, and if you want to schedule a consultation, the link should be in our bio or in the description, or we'll add it after the video because I saw someone say they wanted a consultation. Um, and the ultimate consultation will be State of Diaspora. So check out the link in the description for State of Diaspora, January 12th, 2025. I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of information. There's going to be some speakers on there. We have two speakers that's going to be telling their experience and their understanding and knowledge and wisdom being here in Africa, traveling around the whole world, even going back to America, coming back to Africa, spending big bags in Africa, and just everything, like really everything. So check out Study Diaspora, guys. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, there's a lot of people that watch our channel is not subscribed. So if you are not subscribed, we love if you will subscribe. So Shalom, guys. Peace. Have a good night. Have a good shalom, shalom.